I've said this before and I'll say it again. I do not think Kevin Stefanski wants Shedeur Sanders to succeed in Cleveland.
You can't tell me that a coach that doesn't even mention his player's name wants the best interest for his player.
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski has showed, Tommy Rees has showed that they really don't want Shedeur Sanders to succeed with their actions.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Cleveland, where quarterback development goes to die. And Cam Newton, he's not holding back anymore. This isn't about stats. This isn't about one bad game. This is about a two-time Coach of the Year who was actively sabotaging a young quarterback's development. Bold claim? Absolutely. But after diving into the receipts, the timeline, and Kevin Stefanski's entire coaching history, you might just believe him. Like the video if you love Shedeur. Comment fire Stefanski if you want Browns to win. Let's set the scene. November 16th, 2025, Huntington Bank Field, Browns versus Ravens. Dillon Gabriel takes a hit, gets pulled with a concussion at halftime, and suddenly, the most talked about third-string quarterback since Tim Tebow is getting thrown into the fire. The crowd erupts. Finally, Shedeur Sanders, the kid with the famous last name, the Colorado swagger, the future of Cleveland's quarterback room, is getting his shot. Shedeur stepped in after Dillon Gabriel went down with a concussion in the third quarter, facing one of the hottest defenses in the league in the Baltimore Ravens. But he couldn't close the game the way he hoped to. First pass, a dot to Cedric Tillman. Beautiful. The dream is alive. And then reality hit harder than a Roquan Smith blitz.
He went 4 of 16.
Yep.
47 yards.
Yep.
0 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Yeah.
The Browns lost 23-16. Sanders got blamed by half the internet, called it the worst debut ever. Rex Ryan questioned his leadership. The hot take machine went into overdrive. But here's where the story gets nuclear.
After the game, in the post-game press conference, it was stated that Shedeur Sanders did not get any reps with the ones.
No way.
Since preseason.
Wait, what? Shedeur hadn't taken a single rep with the starting offense since the day he was drafted. Not in camp, not in practice, not even in walkthroughs. Cam didn't just defend him, he went right at Kevin Stefanski, calling him out on that 4th and 1 decision.
I do not think Kevin Stefanski wants Shedeur Sanders to succeed in Cleveland.
Let's see. A two-time NFL MVP, a former #1 overall pick, a guy who survived the full quarterback gauntlet himself, and he's saying, on the record, that a Coach of the Year is actively sabotaging his own quarterback.
Don't tell me what you're saying. Kevin Stefanski has showed, Tommy Rees has showed that they really don't want Shedeur Sanders to succeed with their actions.
Mm-hmm.
Translation? The system is broken. The roster is cooked, and throwing a 5th-round rookie into that mess without practice reps is borderline malpractice. Cam brought receipts too. He talked about preparation, about how backup quarterbacks need reps, about how you can't just throw a guy into an NFL game against the Ravens and expect magic. Here's where it gets truly insane. Cam breaks down the timeline. Dillon Gabriel was the starter. That's fine. Prioritize the start as reps. That's how the NFL works.
You made it a priority to get Dillon Gabriel all the reps because he was the starter.
Mm-hmm.
Did Dillon Gabriel get any reps when he was the #2 guy behind the starter of Joe Flacco?
The answer? Yes.
Dillon Gabriel was getting reps with the ones when he was the #2 quarterback on the depth chart. But some way, shape, form, the #2 quarterback, we won't name his name because we're going to play the Kevin Stefanski game, don't get reps with the #1 guys. What sense does that make?
So Dillon Gabriel gets first-team reps when he's the backup. But Shedeur Sanders, the future of the franchise, the 5th-round pick, the kid who they drafted to develop, gets 0? Make it make sense.
Every single quarterback, including Patrick Mahomes, including Lamar Jackson, including Josh Allen, including Jared Goff. It don't matter who the quarterback is. Their backup understands that you're one play away.
And then Cam dropped something personal, something he lived through in his own career.
I suffered from this in my own career, but I knew how to adapt. Shedeur Sanders is not a person that coach Kevin Stefanski has ever coached. The person who he is. The relatability is the disconnect.
This coach done has been in the league since 2005. That's 20 years. And he has only coached 3 players that are deemed cultured. Cultured players. Not just black players, cultured black players. Players with personality, with swagger, with a different way of communicating. And Stefanski's resume? Mostly filled with Case Keenum, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Dylan Gabriel, guys who fit a certain mold.
He can't relate to black players. And it ain't black players. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that, because that may be the headline, and I don't give a damn if it is the headline. Cultured black players. I'm gonna say it.
Cam's point, it's not about race, it's about understanding. About taking the time to connect with a player who doesn't fit your usual quarterback template. Cam never had a black quarterback coach. He never had someone he could go to and say, bro, I need some time, coach. He never had that natural relatability, the shared background, the shared rituals, the Thanksgiving conversations. But the great coaches he did have, Ron Rivera, Mike Shula, they adapted, they listened, they communicated, they built real relationships.
What's up, dog?
Yeah.
Where you at right now? Hey, matter of fact, tell me something about you that I don't know.
Yeah.
We around each other so much, you might as well, hey, you got a girlfriend? Hey, man, I'm having girl problems myself, man. Wife getting on my nerves. Them type of little small sidebar conversations can bring you closer.
That's what's missing in Cleveland. That relationship, that communication, that willingness to meet a player where they are instead of forcing them into your box. Now look, the pushback is real. Other analysts like Chase Daniel and Luke McCown, former backups themselves, say it's completely normal for number 2 quarterbacks to get 0 first-team reps. That's the NFL. You prioritize the starter. And sure, that makes sense. For veteran backups, for guys who have been around the league, for clipboard holders who already know the system inside and out. But Shedeur Sanders is a rookie, a 5th-round pick who slid from potential 1st overall to pick 144 in the most dramatic draft fall in NFL history. A kid who needs development, who needs reps, who needs coaching. The whole point of drafting a quarterback is to develop them, to give them a chance, to see what you have, not throw them into a game cold against the Baltimore Ravens with a 13-band box in their face and a patchwork offensive line that doesn't even know the snap count. Daniel Oyefushi summed it up and said that Shedeur grew up with a celebrity upbringing and has a really devout fan base. He was one of the biggest stars in the NFL as soon as he was drafted, but he didn't have the credentials to back it up to this point. That's the tension. Shedeur has the hype, the name, the spotlight, but he hasn't earned it on the field yet. So when he gets thrown into an impossible situation and predictably struggles, who takes the fall? The kid who wasn't ready? Or the coach who didn't prepare him? To his credit, Shedeur handled the aftermath like a pro.
I don't think I play good at all. I think it's a lot of things, we need to look at, during the week. And
he called his performance rough, owned his mistakes, didn't make excuses. But then he said something revealing.
I'm still have the same confidence. I'm still me. I'll never go anywhere, Just going out there seeing daylight, that's all I needed, to see how they move out there. You playing against a great defense. You got guys from the Pro Bowl out there, so it's exciting to see, okay, this what it's like. All right. This what it's like. I'm excited for it. So
that's not a kid who's broken. That's a competitor who got punched in the mouth and wants round 2. And he's getting it. With Dylan Gabriel still in concussion protocol, Shedeur is expected to start Sunday in Las Vegas. His first official NFL start. The 42nd Brown starter since 1999. You cannot miss this moment, Shedeur said Wednesday. It'll definitely be exciting. He's hyping it up, embracing the spotlight, doing what Deion's son does best, turning football into theater. But this time, he'll actually get practice reps. He'll work with the first team. He'll build chemistry with Judy, Tillman, and Fannin. He'll have a week to prepare instead of a halftime locker room crash course. Will it make a difference? We're about to find out. So here's what this all comes down to. Is Kevin Stefanski intentionally sabotaging Shedeur Sanders? Probably not. That theory, as awful as it is, makes no sense. Why would you waste a draft pick, even a fifth rounder, just to prove a point? Why would you tank your own job security, and Stefanski is on the hot seat, by refusing to develop your young quarterback? It's illogical, self-destructive, borderline conspiracy theory territory. But incompetence? Negligence? Failing to properly develop a rookie because your job is already spiraling and you're desperate to squeeze wins out of veterans? That makes sense. And that's what Cam Newton is really accusing Stefanski of. Not a conspiracy, just bad coaching, bad preparation, bad process. The Browns are 2-10. They've been through 3 quarterbacks already. They're staring at another rebuild, another high draft pick, another wasted season. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos is Shedeur Sanders, a polarizing, confident, unproven rookie who just wants a fair shot. Whether he gets one, that's up to Kevin Stefanski. But if Sunday in Las Vegas goes the way of Sunday in Cleveland, if Shedeur struggles again, if the offense sputters again, if the Browns lose again, then Cam Newton's words are going to echo even louder.
I'm Shedeur, or if I'm a Shedeur Sanders fan, I would not want him to take the field because that's going to consistently be the display we're going to see.
And at that point, it won't just be Cam saying it. This is the Cleveland Browns we're talking about, the factory of sadness, the team that's broken more quarterbacks than any franchise in modern NFL history. Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel, Deshaun Watson's career, Joe Flacco at 41. Now they've got Shedeur Sanders, and the whole football world is watching. Will he be the one to break the curse, or will Cleveland break him first? Sunday in Las Vegas, we start getting answers. And Kevin Stefanski, his job might depend on it, because if Cam Newton is right, if this coaching staff truly isn't giving their young quarterback a fair shot, then this isn't just about Shedeur. It's about an entire organization that refuses to learn from its mistakes. And in the NFL, that's how you stay irrelevant.